station of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are LA.
Gorgeous day for baseball here in North Texas. The Angels unfortunately have dropped the first two games of the series, and they're trying to pick up a victory before the road trip continues to Milwaukee. We welcome you inside Globe Life Park and back to Angels baseball. You're on Fox Sports West along with Mark Gubas. I'm Victor Rojas. And while the pitching has been okay for the Angels the first two games, we got a terrific pitching matchup this afternoon. And the Angels kind of hanging their hopes on Garrett Richards, who gets opposed by Cole Hamels.
Yeah, Victor, he's your ace of your staff, your stopper of a losing streak. He's the perfect guy to have on the mound against his Texas Ranger ball club. He throws the ball exceptionally hard. His fastball, when you talk about velocity, you're talking 94, 98 miles an hour with very good movement. When he has balance over the pitching rubber, he can throw his slider, curve on it. His changeup is really improving, which is going to be important against some of the lefties in this lineup. And speaking of great changeups, Cole Hamels has one of the best in all of baseball. And he's been very hot of late. He's got that good slider, but he pitches a lot down in the strike zone. Whether it's his two-seam fastball, changeup away is a good combination of that, and his breakable are always downstairs, and he's been fantastic over his last 14 starts, in which he's 10-0, very good ERA. Garrett Richards has thrown the ball very well. His last start, very good ERA on the season, and great numbers against the Texas Rangers in his career.
This is a team right now, the Texas Rangers, red hot, leading the American League West. We'll talk about that a little bit more as we get into the game. Also, a bevy of moves for the Angels. We'll also get into that when the game commences. We're just about ready for baseball here in North Texas. Sit back and relax. Here bring you the lineups in the first pitch when we return.
This telecast of Angels baseball on Fox Sports West is brought to you by Hyundai. Great deals on amazing cars are going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today. By Jack in the Box. Taste the Bacon-licious sourdough bacon ranch combo. Only at Jack in the Box. and by the Jeep Renegade. Find your inner Renegade and reach your highest potential with an EPA estimated 31 highway miles per gallon. We welcome you back out to Globe Life Park. Game 3 of this 3-game set between the Angels and the Texas Rangers, with Texas having taken the first 2 last night. A 7-2 final in Texas' favor. Mentioned that the Angels made a bevy of moves prior to today's ball game. And it starts with C.J. Wilson being placed on the 60-day disabled list. Shane Robinson called up from AAA. He's starting today in left field. A.J. Ochter also called up from AAA. He's in the bullpen as Matt Shoemaker gets sent to AAA. And Craig Gentry on the 15-day disabled list with a lower back strain.
Yeah, with Shoemaker, Mike Scioscia was talking about today, just to try to get him back into good form, let him have a couple starts down in AAA. And when the need for that 5th starter comes around, that's when he may be back if he figures it out.
Let's check out the lineup that Mike Scioscia runs out for game number 25 this afternoon. Yunel Escobar leading things off at third. Cole Calhoun in the number 2 spot today. He's in right. Mike Trout at center. Albert back to DH. Crone gets a start at first base. Giovanni Soto behind the plate. Andrelton Simmons at shortstop. There's Shane Robinson in left field. And Cliff Pennington gets the afternoon start today at second base. He will bat 9. They are taking on a 32-year-old left-hander, native of San Diego, California. His name is Cole Hamels.
Cole Hamels, very good pitcher, especially down in the strike zone. Fastballs 90-94, cut fastball, curve, changeup. But my go-tos to be successful against Hamels, change away. He's going to throw that changeup away. You have to hit that ball away and then bring him up in the strike zone for success. He is down at the knees or below with his cut fastball, slider, changeup, and 2-seamer. Bringing up in the zone becomes more hittable.
Let's check out the Texas Rangers defense today. It is Desmond DeShields Mazar in the outfield. Beltre, Andrus, Odor, Moreland around the infield. Holiday, who got the start Friday night, is back behind the plate this afternoon.
And Andrus, who's hit the ball well, has really fielded his position exceptionally well so far this year. Just 1 error, 988 fielding percentage. Career high is 976. Always been very good, but more accurate with his throws now.
Second start for Hamels against the Angels this season, as the first one is downstairs. He got the start on April the 9th at the Big A. Picked up the win, went 6 innings, gave up 4 hits, 1 run, and had 4 strikeouts. Yunel Escobar, 281 average. A couple of hits last night, 2 for 4 with a double and a single. One of those hits mentioned that double in the first inning. First double he had since April 15th. Started off the season red hot with 6 doubles. Upstairs, Hamels behind at 3 balls and no strikes.
What you like to see, especially when him missing up in the strike zone with great pitchers, you got to get him early in the game before they settle in.
Three balls, 1 strike. Dale Scott, the crew chief, calling the balls and strikes today. Ramon De Jesus at first, Bob Davidson at second, Lance Barrett over at third. 3-1 from Hamels. That is in time. It's a leadoff walk.
Can be a little bit wild. 11 walks in 25 innings pitched for him. They'll make that 12 now in 25 innings pitched. Again, before he settles in, generally early in the game, especially early in counts. And that first pitch swinging against him, hitters are hitting 444 so far this year, 4 for 9.
This is 5th start of the year, 3-0 and a 2.52 ERA. Cole Calhoun batting in the number 2 spot for the first time this year. We'll look at his strike. Cole last night 2 for 4 with a triple and a double. Also scored a run. 267 overall batting average. 5 doubles, a triple, 2 home runs, 9 runs batted in. Last year, 75 games in the number 2 spot on the order. Little looper beyond the reach of Odor. Kind of sound like he cracked his bat.
And Odor playing a little bit more shallow from that second base position, better spot for a potential double play, but because of that, the baseball flares right over his head. Odor, you see exactly where he is in that second base position. Generally, you see second baseman closer to the outfield grass, but because of that, ball flares in, and the Angels are in business early on.
Mike Scioscia trying to jumpstart. Plus, you've got a new addition in Shea Robinson, but trying to jumpstart that number 2 spot in the order. It's been somewhat of a black hole for the Angels this year. Just a 188 batting average. More importantly, just a 250 on base percentage from that number 2 spot. Here's Trout with 2 on, nobody out. He will look at the strike. Trout 0 for 4 last night with a couple of strikeouts. Snapped his 9-game hitting streak.
No, Trout just 1 for 5 in his career against Cole Hamels. Perfect matchup. Pitcher that's down in the strike zone, a great hitter down.
Foul back. No balls and 2 strikes. Not a cloud in the sky. We've got a north wind today. Very dry, beautiful day for baseball.
This is absolutely perfect weather today.
Might be different in about 2.5 weeks when we're back here. That's down it in. Crazy, these 2 teams will meet again here the last week of May. 2 very quick visits.
And then don't come back here again till what, mid-September,
Yeah.
late September.
Escobar with a leadoff walk. Calhoun with a broken bat single. 1-2 to Trout. And that's in off the plate. Last night, that may have been strike 3 as Lance Barrett established that part of the plate early.
And this pitch was well off the inside corner. Very similar to the location of last night's call, 3rd strike.
Pujols on deck. 2-2 now. Down and in. Full count. Four of the 5 pitches to Trout in this sequence have been on the inside part of the plate and off the plate. Here's the payoff, and he went around. Went back inside, 1 away.
Trying to chase that cut fastball. And again, his cut fastball, and a lot of times you hear when a pitcher throws a cutter, it's going to be in on the hands, but he throws his down and in quite a bit. See right there, clearly crossed the plate. On the chase after a number of those pitches inside that were close enough to make you think he could throw a strike on the inner half, and that's why Trout chased it.
Albert DHing. Homered last night in the 9th inning. 566th of his career. And last night the Angels had opportunities early against Derek Holland, but they ended up just going 1 for 11 with men in scoring position. Holland picking up the win, working 6 innings. Angels 2 runs coming in the 9th. Caught the inside corner for a strike. Albert hitting 176. 1 double, 6 home runs, 15 runs batted in.
And another pitch, borderline, maybe even off the inside corner, getting called for Cole Hamels early.
Seeing a very similar pattern today as we've seen through the last couple of weeks with Trout and Pujols. Just a lot of pitches in. With Albert, they've gone back outside to get him out, and he bounces this one to short. Another inning-ending double play for the Angels. 1 in the books.
Yeah, hold on. He might have thought that he pulled off the base, and Alfredo was pointing as if Moreland might have been off the base.
Well, Mike Scioscia's asking Dale Scott to hold on here while they take a look at it. It looked like he kept it on there. No argument from the Angels, so that'll do it for the Halos. We'll head to the bottom of the first scoreless. Brought to you by Hyundai. Great deals on amazing cars are going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today. By Jack in the Box. Taste the Baconlicious Sourdough Bacon Ranch Combo. Only at Jack in the Box. And by the Jeep Renegade. Find your inner Renegade and reach your highest potential with an EPA estimated 31 highway miles per gallon.
No score, bottom of the first inning. The Angels getting the first two on against Cole Hamels and get nothing out of it as Rougned Odor trying to lead things off to face Garrett Richards. We'll give you the rest of that Ranger lineup here momentarily. Odor, the second baseman, comes in batting .264 with 3 home runs, 14 runs batted in. Very comfortable at the plate during this weekend series. He hacks at the first pitch and fouls it back.
And very aggressive early. At some point, especially with Richards and that fastball he has, I think you got to make a lot of these hitters uncomfortable at the plate.
He made the Royals hitters uncomfortable.
Yes.
His last start.
Effectively wild.
Picked up his first win of the year. This is pulled through the right side, and it's a base hit. Leadoff single for Odor. And we'll check out Jeff Bannister's lineup for the Rangers. They are 14-10 on the season, 10-4 here in this ballpark. Odor, Mazar, Beltre in the top third. Fielder Desmond Moreland in the middle third, and it's Andrews, Holiday, and DeShields rounding out that starting 9. Second time Garrett has faced the Rangers, faced them on April the 9th, took the loss. Gave up 4 runs, 2 earned, 6 2/3. Odor with a huge lead at first base.
Looks like he wants to go early.
Mazara takes inside.
Wow, that was a good pitch. That's a lot of the strike zone. Mike Scioscia's already saying something at Dale Scott on that one. Because yes, why is that important when you miss that pitch? If you're ahead 0-1, that gives Mike Scioscia the option of a pitch out. Behind 1-0, pretty much you've gone away from that thought process as a manager.
Mazara, the rookie right fielder, hitting .333. Odor, big lead, and they'll check in on him. He's got 4 stolen bases on the year. It ties him for the team lead with Ian Desmond. Texas with a total of 11 stolen bases.
I mean, the amazing thing about Odor, you know how hot he is right now, swinging the bat very well. Coming in this game, it's 1 for 20 against Richards. Very good ERA so far this year. The record, 1-loss record, not an indication of how well Garrett has thrown the baseball this year. 2.35 ERA.
Foul back.
Going to my go-tos as far as Garrett to be successful today in this game is be the stopper. As you're an ace of the staff, you've got an opportunity to stop a losing streak and finish off hitters early. A lot of deep counts last game out. Very wild and very effective as far as that for Richards, but you want to go deep in the game here. You get ahead, finish off with that nasty slider.
Leadoff single for Rougned Odor. He's at first base. Texas at 10-4 in this ballpark. Best record in Major League Baseball. They've got the best division record too at 10-5. This one's hit toward first. Cron's got it. 1 hopper. Now it's a tag play on Odor because Cron touched the base. Simmons applies the tag. 2 down.
Good job by C.J. Cron. Originally thinking about throwing right away, but then realized that when you step on the base, you have to apply a tag. Stops, getting a run down, and done very well by the infield there. You want to limit the amount of throws. Good play. Step on the base. Thought about throwing, and then runs it back, and then a quick tag by Simmons. That's exactly what you want to do. Avoid as many throws as possible.
2 outs. Nobody on, and Beltre at the plate.
1 for 3 game last night. Beltre hitting .289, 7 doubles, 3 home runs, 14 runs batted in. That'll leave it to count. Well, Garrett has lost 3 of his 4 decisions. He's managed a 2.35 ERA. Not getting much run support either.
30 punch-outs in 30 2/3 innings pitched coming into this game.
The Angels offense providing him under 2.5 runs a game.
Also 9-3 in his career versus the Rangers.
A 3-1 count. Last 9 home games for Texas. .302 batting average, averaging almost 5.5 runs per game. Full count. Fielder on deck. Fouled back, high fastball. Escobar having to retrieve the baseball from Garrett. Leadoff single and the double play off the bat of Mazzara. Beltre strikes out swinging, and the inning comes to an end. 1 complete, scoreless. Score in Texas. Every game matters. Host a business function or celebrate a special occasion in your own private suite at the Big A. Suite rentals offer all-inclusive food and beverage packages. Visit angels.com/suites for more info. Crone, Soto, and Simmons for the Angels here against Cole Hamels. TJ last night DHing, ended up going 2 for 4 with a single, pardon me, a triple and a single. .203 average. Head of the count at 2 balls and no strikes. Hamels worked out of a 2-on nobody out situation in the first. A little cue shot towards second. Odor has to come charging in. Bare hands it, throws out Crone for the first out.
And every time you're facing Cole Hamels, when he's behind in the count, he will pitch backwards. He will throw a changeup. You cannot try to pull the baseball. And Odor showing some very good range, and with his strong throwing arm was completely under control to make this play. And Hamels, knowing that the second baseman has that athleticism, can in bare hand, quick throw over to get C.J. Crone at first.
Soto fouls off the first offering. Giovanni 9 for 27 on the year. 1 double, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. Had the night off last night. Did get to start Friday night. And a 2 for 4 game with a home run. 2 runs batted in. Shoots this one out to right field. Mazzara comes in. 2 down.
We talked about how well Cole Hamels throws his off-speed pitch, especially that changeup and occasional curveball. Also, talk about the highest whiff percentage in the American League as far as off-speed pitches at 44.8%. And the major league average is 23, a little over 23.5%. That's how good that changeup is, because he backs it up with that 2-seam fastball and cutter that are down in the strike zone. Same plane with his changeup and curveball.
Simmons fouls it off. Andleton, a 253 average. This after going 1 for 4 last night. The Angels had 9 hits last night, just none when they needed them.
Boy, both these pitchers in this game do not waste time. On that pitching rubber, getting their sign and attacking a hitter. It's going to be up to you as a hitter in this game to make adjustments and force, especially Cole Hamels, middle of the plate and bring him up in the strike zone.
One and 2. Hamels being picked up from the Phillies last year. Ended up making 12 starts for Texas. Went 7-1 with a 3.66 ERA down the stretch. Ground ball to short. Andrews throws out Simmons. The Angels go down in order. We'll head to the bottom of the second with no score.
This very good pitching matchup. Bottom of the second. The Hyundai key for this game today for the Angels to be successful. Going with a little Sam Hunt. I think you missed me, especially with that fastball and slider combo that Richards had to get the punch out against Adrian Beltre. to finish off the first inning. Look for a lot of punch outs today from Richards.
Fielder Desmond Moreland here, the second for Texas. Fielder, a .207 batting average, 3 doubles, a couple of home runs. He's driven in 17, had a 2-for-4 game last night. Flipped us with foul. Texas with 12 hits on the night. They won Friday 4-2, last night 7-2.
A very important pitch for Richards today against some of these left-handed batters will be his changeup. He's at about 9% of his pitches this year changeup. Prior to this season, barely 1%. And it's been good for him.
2 balls and a strike. Shift on. Fielder at the plate. Escobar at the shortstop position. Orioles could use a win. A flight up to Milwaukee to take on the Brewers beginning tomorrow night. 3-game series.
It's that changeup. Great location. Good movement. There's that circle changeup. Starts at the knees, ends up almost in the dirt. Fantastic movement at 87 miles an hour. As compared to his 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
Fielder skies one out towards shallow left. Shane Robinson calling for it. Makes the catch, 1 down.
And Robinson, the guy with great coverage in the outfield. Major league levels, played 32 games out in left field, 14 in center, 2 in right, and a plus throwing arm and an accurate throwing arm also. See those numbers? Last year with the Minnesota Twins, 5 outfield assists. I said very accurate throwing arm.
Ian Desmond takes a strike. 229 batting average. 3 home runs, 10 runs batted in. 1-for-4 game yesterday with an RBI single. 6-run 3rd inning. This was line to center. Trout over to cut it off. Does so on the backhand. Desmond's going to try to go to second. The throw from Trout a little bit high. And it's a double. 4th of the season for Ian Desmond.
And Desmond, right out of the batter's box, was thinking because where he hit that ball in left center field and hit well on the line, he was going to go for that second base. And a good strike, cut that angle to base, and slides in with his 4th double. When you look at the batting average this year for Desmond on fastballs that are 93 miles an hour or higher, 455.
He's a guy that's middle in.
Yep. You know,
He's
the major
turn
league,
on it.
The average in the American League as far as fastballs at that velocity, just 247. He likes the fastball, doesn't like the breaking ball. That's why he went first pitch breaking ball. Stay with that against him throughout the game.
Moreland takes outside. He'd also be a guy that I think would be susceptible to the changeup. I know righties are this mental thing about not throwing changeups to right-handed batter, but if you got a good one going and you've got a good feel for it, why not?
He keeps telling me, Garrett, he's going to use his changeup and curveball more often against right-handed batters. Right-handed batters hitting 267 against him. Lefties only 173. When you have that good of stuff that Richards has, right-handed batters should be in that low 200 mark at best. But you have to get him off hard fastball, hard slider on occasion by throwing something off speed.
Two balls, no strikes. Moreland homered last night. 3-run shot in the 3rd, his only hit of the evening. Desmond, a 1-out double, standing at second. Upstairs. 3-0. Elvis Andrus on deck. Mindset change for a pitcher when you realize team struggling offensively and you know that in your starts you're not getting a whole lot of run support.
And then you're facing an ace like Cole Hamels. Yeah, what it does, sometimes it can work against you because you try to be too fine. When you have stuff like Garrett Richards, there's no reason to be overly fine trying to hit corners. We saw that last game against Kansas City, a very good fastball hitting club. But you know what? They had no good swings against them. And they even told me that after the game, they had no chance against Richards. And they were the world champs last year.
That road trip for Kansas City has been a struggle. Swept by the Angels and have lost the first 2 against Seattle. Shut out both times.
Wade Miley, I think that's his first career shutout.
And Friday night, 1 hit for Seattle. It counted though. Seth Smith. 3-1. Full count.
Good off-speed pitch right there from Richards. A fastball count.
Three-two. Moreland rips one to right. That is a fair ball into the corner. Desmond comes in to score. Moreland in at second. It's an RBI double, and Texas has a 1-0 lead.
Off-speed pitch, was able to get down and hook that one right down the line. So that changeup kind of stayed a little bit too high up in the zone, inner half of the plate. And that's it. That's how he was able to hook that one down the line. Still the right pitch. The execution wasn't necessarily there for Richards.
There's Elvis Andrus, still 1 out. And a man at second. One. Andrus, a .329 batting average. 8 extra base hits, 13 runs batted in. And a double in last night's contest. Shallow right. Pennington cutting over. Crow will make the catch in foul territory.
That's one of those plays. It was an easier play for the first baseman, the way the defense was set up. Decision by C.J. Cron to call that and go after that. How far Pennington would have to go to get to this baseball. Communication was there. He was able to catch that ball and get it in quickly. Most times you think second baseman, but because how far Pennington would have to go, good decision by C.J. Cron.
Curious as to what that little delay was with Soto out in front of the plate. Like he was looking out toward second or out toward the center field area. Holiday, the catcher, takes a strike. Hitting 171 with a double and 3 RBIs. Had the night off last night. Was back behind the plate on Friday and went 0 for 3, batting in the 9th spot in the order. DeShields in the 9-hole once again today. Halo's in the third. We'll have Robinson, Pennington, and Escobar. 8, 9, and 1 coming up. Garrett allowing back-to-back doubles with 1 out to get Texas on the board. Pretty close to being a strike. Doesn't get called. 2-1.
Talking about the upper part of the strike zone. And this touches it according to our Fox tracks.
Soto held it there for a while. Tried to get the call. Lifted out toward left. Simmons drifting out. Robinson will call him off. Texas done here the second, although they strike for a run as we head to the third. The Angels trail at 1-0. Take on the Rays Sunday, May 8th. That's Mother's Day, and that's a 12:35 start. The first 20,000 adults in attendance will receive a Mother's Day beach tote, courtesy of Thermador. To join us on Mother's Day, visit angels.com/promotions.
It's right around the corner. Boy, Cole Hamels does not waste any time. Right ahead of the strike zone right away, but on 0-1 counts coming into this game, batters .375 with 2 home runs.
Shane Robinson, the left fielder, called up today before the game. In camp with the Indians, opted out of his deal when he wasn't going to make the 25-man roster and signed with the Angels. Just over 300 at AAA. Cardinals 5th round pick in 2006 out of Florida State University. Shane is 31. It's jammed, fouls it off. He got into 83 games last year with Minnesota. At 250.
Remember making a couple unbelievable plays in the outfield defensively.
Just joining us, Craig Gentry on the DL. Back issue. Matt Shoemaker optioned out to AAA. Robinson and A.J. Octor, the reliever, called up. Fouled that one. Count remains at 2-2. Angels needing a 40-man roster spot, and that's why C.J. Wilson got transferred to the 60-day DL.
And if somewhere down the road, especially with Andrew Heaney, that's always an option too, because it's going to be a while before he's ready to go again.
Little flare out to right center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. So the speedy Shane Robinson on board to lead off the third. Second hit of the afternoon for the Angels.
Always good to make some friends right away and get a base hit. Your first at bat wearing that Angel uniform. I'm sure guys are giving a grief. Hey, do you want that baseball? Texas is thinking the way they're setting up their infield that Pennington may try to bunt.
Takes outside. Cliff 4 for 25. First action of this series. Double, a triple, a home run, 4 runs batted in. Just 0 for 1 from this side of the plate this year. Push bunt on the first base side. Hamels picks it up, feeds Moreland. One down as a sacrifice, advances Robinson to second.
When you're facing a good pitcher like Hamels, you have to try to manufacture some runs, and that's a good decision there for Pennington and Mike Scioscia to be able to put a bunt around and put it down on that side of the infield to be able to make sure you advance Robinson in the scoring position, get some high fives going back to that dugout.
Second sacrifice Pennington has had from that side of the plate. Escobar will step in. RBI opportunity. Walked in the first and was stranded at second base. Ground ball over to third. Beltre has it. 2 down. So it's up to Cole. Halo's 0 for 3 now with men in scoring position. 2 for 18 in this series.
$10 for 31 against left-handed pitching so far in the season.
Cole with a single in the first. He hits this one towards second past Odor. That's a base hit. Being waved around as Robinson to throw to the plate is not in time, and we are tied up at 1.
And once again, another base hit against a left-handed pitcher. 2 for 2 in this game for Cole Calhoun. Sugar Shane Robinson scores the tying run.
10th RBI for Cole.
And that pitch out over the plate. A cut fastball once again, but stayed flat on that plane of the barrel of the bat. And Cole base hit in the right center field, driving in his 10th run of the season.
So Trout will step up with 2 outs and Calhoun at first. Calhoun takes off to throw down to second. Not a dime, a stolen base.
Going on first movement. First stolen base of the season for Cole. So far this year, base stealers have been successful just once out of 3 attempts against Hamels. 26 career pickoff moves, but just a couple of years ago, it was last year, allowed 24 stolen base in 27 attempts against Cole Hamels. So you got to pick the right time on first movement. Guess right, you're going to be successful.
Robinson with a leadoff single. Calhoun with a 2-out base hit, bringing him home. Tie the score at 1. 0-1 down and in. Nice dig by Holiday. Evens a count of 1 ball, 1 strike.
So far this inning, base hit, sacrifice bunt, and a base hit by Cole, a stolen base, trying to manufacture some offense. Change up down. Kind of a swing at a cut fastball that was down and in.
Well, the struggles for Trout with men in scoring position have continued with that first inning strikeout. Now 1 for 16. Got an opportunity here. And he'll take a called strike 3. And that'll do it for the Angels. They do tie things up as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Proud to team up with NAMI, the National Alliance of Mental Illness, and their commitment to improving the lives of families and those affected by mental health conditions. Learn more about how to be stigma-free and visit foxsportsports.com. 1-1 tie, bottom of the 3rd. Garrett to face 9-1-2, DeShields, Odor, and Mazzara. Good to see the Angels come back and not the score.
I like the way they went about things in that half inning also.
DeShields takes low. Speedy outfielder hitting 221. Snapped an 0 for 11 last night. And they're going 1 for 4. One and two.
That's good to see. That's a curveball from Richards. Mentioned he's going to start throwing that to right-handed batters. Then he'd go back with a hard slider or even a fastball to finish him off.
Back up the middle. Pennington was shading DeShields that way, and boy, what a quick release. They get the speed of DeShields for round number 1.
Right back up the middle. And that slider was middle part of the plate, but the defense in position with Pennington be able to field that ball right back up the middle, right over the pitching rubber. But quickly Pennington gets rid of that baseball to get DeShields.
Leadoff man, Rougned Odor at the plate. He singled to right in his first at bat. Odor with 3 doubles last night. First game of his career in which he's had 3 doubles, matching a Ranger record. Ground ball to second. Pennington throws out Odor, 2 outs.
Well, just watching Cliff Pennington, how he prepares for that ground ball in his direction. He's got that good little prep step he has in the second base position. Made an outstanding play the play before against the Shields. That one routine for him. It's all about the preparation as he gets himself in position. He's down there. He's keeping that glove down low. Body with two hands to keep that in front. If you're a youngster at home, that's exactly the way you want to field a baseball when you're a middle infielder like that.
Lazar takes outside. Grounded into a double play in the first. He's 0 for 1.
Well, I remember forever in the minor leagues keeping a book. We had to. How often you get 2 quick outs and you look up and it's 2 outs, 2-0, we would always call it. Behind in the count now 3-0. What it is you think you're through the inning, the focus goes away, and all of a sudden you put yourself in a situation where hitters in it now in a good hitter's count. If you walk them, then you have to deal with Beltre coming up next. It's all that focus to be able to finish off an inning.
Full count.
Even when I'm working with the high school kids, the pitchers, I say the same thing to them. You got to finish off an inning. Every time they go 2 outs, 2-0, I look at them and give them the 2 outs, 2-0 again. And they right away they'll think, okay, I lost my focus for that short period of time.
Can't think about being back in the dugout until you're actually back in the dugout.
Exactly right. Hitters will remind you of that.
3-2. Foul back.
And then it also forces you to throw a number of pitches to finish off the inning. You get 2 quick outs. Think in terms of, wow, I'm going to throw a fastball, a little movement down, get a ground ball, and all of a sudden you can save about 4 or 5 pitches as the game progresses. There's a guy right there that attacked the strike zone very well. Charles Nagy. And pitched backwards when he needed to, too, as far as all speed and fastball counts.
Lazar goes down, swinging a 1-2-3 shutdown inning for Garrett. We'll head to the 4th, tied at 1.
Top of the 4th. That's Bill Carmack, big Angel fan. He wanted me to wish happy birthday to his wife, Becky, back home. Also, it's their wedding anniversary, and he's here at the game.
Yeah, I'm sure
that's a true
why,
fan.
I'm sure that's why he wanted to wish.
And look at the back of the jersey. See, he's going to blame it on me, isn't he? That's why he's here.
How much did you pay him to put that thing on? And who put the lettering on that jersey and didn't ask, what are you thinking?
All my per diem is gone now.
Buddy, you know this is an Angels jersey, right? You sure you want Kubitska on here?
Did you not see his ERA as an Angel? I'm still saying that decimal point was wrong.
Now, if it was the Periwinkle, maybe. This is the liner out the center. It's a leadoff single for Albert.
Just trying to help out.
Yeah.
Birthday and anniversary, and you're here watching the Angel game.
I thought you had like a special message like, I love you, boo. You know, it's her birthday and their anniversary. And oh, by the way, hey, Mark, do you mind passing this along?
There he is. He's checking his phone. Yeah, he's getting a call now.
Honey, they're talking about you. What do you mean you're at the game? You told me you were going to the store.
I thought you were bringing me home flowers now.
Oh, man. I'm sorry, baby. I'll be right home.
Yeah, it was a lot of traffic. You know how LA traffic is.
Crowan fouls it off. 1 ball, 1 strike. CJ grounded out, leading off the second. Roll. We got somebody in trouble. Where'd it go, Goob?
That's the way I roll.
One ball, 2 strikes. 2 strikeouts, 1 walk for Cole Hamels, 4 hits allowed. 2 strikeouts for Cole against Trout. 1 swinging, 1 looking. Down and in. Texas with a run in the second. The Angels tied it in the third.
What makes that cut fastball and fastball in so effective? He'll throw the 4-seam fastball in, but then he throws a cut fastball down and in. Not much differential in speed. Certainly a lot of room on the right side of the infield for Cron to hit that ball through.
Cron pulls on the left, went down and got it. Back-to-back singles to start the 4th. Albert a big turn and will head back to second and keep his foot on the bag this time.
And that's the approach talking to Paul Sorrento and Dave Hansen. They know a lot of pitches are going to be downstairs against Cole Hamels, but you still have to be prepared and look for a spot. Even though it's very effective at times, you just go for that one spot and see if you can make good contact. And that's what Cron was able to do on that swing. Stayed back. Even though he was fooled somewhat, he still had the barrel of the bat back in the zone enough to hit that into left field for a base hit.
Giovanni Soto gets jammed, pops it up. Elvis Andrus drifting out. Infield fly rule is called. 1 out.
Very effective cut fastball there from Hamels against Soto.
Simmons a ground out to short in the second. There's Pujols at second base and Cron at first. Andrews to Odor, the relay back to first in time. Second time today that the Angels have grounded into an inning-ending double play. And the second time they've had first 2 reach with nobody out and get nothing out of it. Still tied at 1 as we head to the bottom of the 4th.
MVP hat on still. But had to get some help from Carlos Perez. And of course, Ranger captain came by to say hi. And then lost his hat with a quick right hook.
Charlie asking him,
Trout and Pujols.
why the long face?
It's a day game. It's an early morning game for Roger, Ranger captain.
1-1 tie, bottom of the fourth. Beltre, fielder, and Desmond for Texas against Garrett Richards. 2 strikeouts, no walks, 3 hits allowed for Garrett. Beltre struck out to end the first. Take down low. Two and one. Angels, by the way, have now hit into 29 double plays this season. This is game number 25. Both have ended innings, the first and the fourth. 2-2.
There's only 2 other teams in the American League in that 20 category as far as grounding into double plays: Baltimore and Kansas City.
Two lifted, foul on the first base side. Crow runs out of room. Oh, he hit that short wall. Pretty good with the hip area.
It's pretty amazing that Beltre could actually hit that ball in the air to begin with, where that pitch was located. Crow trying to get an idea exactly where to reach up at the end, but that not a lot of give in that wall right there. Very similar to what we see in Big A. Cement wall, little padding on there, but that doesn't prevent a whole lot.
Full count. And he walked him, so the leadoff man is on board. First free pass issued by Richards. That'll bring up fielder with a fly ball to left field in the second. Pitch out with Beltre at first.
Yeah, you wonder if it was reading a wrong sign or anticipating a hitting run. It's certainly not going to be a straight steal, and it wasn't executed the right way either. When you do that as a pitcher, you want to throw that pitch out around shoulder height.
Not sure that I would ever understand that. You're worried about a hit and run with Prince Fielder? Oh well. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You have to feel real comfortable that you have their signs. You always had.
Back to the mound. Garrett has it, fires to second, throws it wildly, trickles into the outfield, and Beltre ends up at third. That is about as routine a double play as it's going to get. Richards just messed it up.
And that, again, that's when you look back where your defenders are to start with. I know that's your normal reaction to field your position. As you can see the way the defense is set up. The ball's right back at him. You have coverage by both middle infielders in that ground ball up the middle, and a much easier play because you've eliminated a throw. And the low throw from that arm angle, unable to make the play, especially with both infielders at second base. But if you look exactly where they're set up, you let that go. That's why you look back on who has the double play ball with you. If it's a ground ball at you can let it go. And that would have been as routine as possible as far as a double play.
So first and third, and nobody out. Desmond swinging first pitch, fouls it off. Desmond a double and a run scored in the second. Error on Garrett. It's the 15th error committed by the Angels. Third of the series. They had 2 last night. Time called.
Desmond with 21 strikeouts and 83 at bats, so he is susceptible to a strikeout.
Lines this one to center. He has been red hot. Another fastball for a guy that's been hitting fastballs to no end. It's a 2-1 Texas lead.
I mean, we mentioned that earlier. .455 batting average with fastballs that are 93 or above as far as miles per hour, and another firm 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and he stays back on it, hits it right back up the middle. This is a good visit right now for Charles Nagy. He's very positive as far as trying to get a pitcher back in his game. Because you know you made a mistake as a pitcher. You have a double play ball. You threw it away. You got to move forward as quick as possible, because this Ranger offense will attack and score early and often against you when you're losing your focus. 58 pitches thrown for Richards, 36 of them strikes.
Moreland with an RBI double on a changeup back in the second. Halo's just looking for an out here to get things started. 2-1 Texas. We're in the fourth. Fielder at second, Desmond at first. 0-2 count. Handles with a run on 5 hits, 1 error, 3 left on. Texas, a couple of runs. 4 hits, 1 man left on base. One ball, 2 strikes. Moreland has yet to ground into a double play this year, but there's always a first.
Yeah, you need to. Just to check that category off the charts for you.
3 infielders on the right. Escobar closer to the bag at third with the man at second. And that is hooked down the right field line, and it hooks foul. Home run distance.
Pretty much down the heart of the plate. Looked like one of the change-ups again. It stayed up and out. That's what he doubled down the line against him earlier.
I think you're just doing him a favor by throwing that pitch.
You got two choices here if you're Richards, in my opinion. You go fastball inside at the belt or a hard slider down and in.
Two balls, two strikes.
See, this is like Cole Hamels did a number of times already in this game as far as a fastball, four-seam in. Then you can throw that hard slider, which is almost like Cole Hamels' cutter. Because Richards' sliders around 88 to 90 range. Should work here down and in for a swing and miss.
.64 pitches thrown by Garrett. Issued a leadoff walk to Beltre. Got fielder to bounce it back to the mound, but Garrett threw it away, and resulting in an error, his second of the year. And then Desmond snapped the tie with a base hit to center. Called strike three. Down goes Moreland. One down.
When fastball, that's just a great job as far as framing a pitch by Giovanni Soto. A little bit off the outside corner, just barely off the outside corner, but close enough that Soto got that strike for him.
Elvis Andrus popped down his first time up. Swings first pitch, fouls one back. Ten for 20 with Bennett scoring position this year.
He's been very good on fastballs in. He's been very good on fastballs that are elevated. Both anywhere between 460 and 500 on those two categories on fastballs.
Just missed in. One ball, one strike. And he lines one out to left field. Robinson will play the short hop. Fielder can only advance to third. So the bases are loaded now with one out. And Holiday, the catcher, coming up. Thought for a second there that Shane would have had an opportunity to make the catch, but it literally kind of pulled up.
Trying to keep it in front, especially because all the runners are going to have to freeze because of that. They're going to advance one base. Again, another pitcher was upstairs in the strike zone, and another effective swing for Andrus. Again, your mindset right now, if you're Richards, I can still get a ground ball double play. Even though Richards can strike people out, he is a ground ball pitcher.
Holiday, a fly ball to left in his first at bat. First one on the way, and it's rolled foul.
Spike Owen, third base coach, interim third base coach, getting out of the way of that hard hit ball by Holiday.
0-1. And that's in the air down the left field line. Long run for Robinson, but he'll run out of room.
.70 pitches, 24 in this inning, 20 back in the second also for Richards. And she gave up a run, giving up a run so far in this inning, trying to avoid any more damage.
Oh, 2 count, bases loaded, 1 out. And that's fouled back. Off the mask of Soto. A long bottom of the 4th for Garrett. He's at 71 pitches now.
Well, what did we talk about earlier as far as to be able to get deep in the game, finish hitters off early, quickly, get ahead of the count, finish them off with that nasty stuff you have.
Called strike 3. Down goes Holiday. 2 outs.
Speaking of nasty, that's a nasty slider from Richards. Second called, 3rd strike in this inning. Sharp break to that, perfect location, right on the outside corner. Look at our Fox tracks. And if you can avoid any more damage, if you're Garrett Richards and the Angels, talk about momentum. This would be a huge momentum lift for the club to get through this inning with no more damage.
A moral victory, to say the least. DeShields a ground down in the 3rd inning at bat. Time called by Soto. Fielder at 3rd base, Desmond at 2nd, Andrews at 1st. 2-1 Texas. We're in the bottom of the 4th. DeShields lines one beyond the reach of Pennington to the alley in right center. It's a base hit. 2 runs will come in. Heading to 3rd is Andrews. And Texas extends their lead to 4-1. DeShields picks up RBIs 5 and 6.
It's the fastball, outer part of the plate. And it's a good piece of hitting by DeShields.
How big is that error now? Had a double play ball right in your glove. Instead, the Rangers have capitalized on it. Top of the order here, Odor. 8th man to bat here in the 4th. Odor 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out. Fouls this one back. DeShields leaning over at first base with a pretty good lead, and they'll check in on him.
So far in this game for the Rangers, 6 hits, 4 by right-handed batters. Significant because of Richards with his stuff, surprising the number of hits by right-handed batters against him this season so far.
No balls, 2 strikes. Some movement now in the Angels pen. Guys just stretching. Nobody's playing catch yet. But this inning has just gone on forever for Garrett. He's now up to 76 pitches.
And his velocity on his fastball has been around 90 to 92 the last few batters faced.
Time called again. Soto out to flash the signs. Runners at first and third.
Especially with this count, he may be going, anticipating either breaking ball or getting potentially in a rundown also, if the throw goes through.
Good speed on the corners. Andrews at third, DeShields at first. Pitch out.
I don't mind that one. That one right there. Because a lot of times runners have identified with, especially ahead of the count, that Garrett Richards will throw a slider potentially low, potentially in the dirt. Very difficult for a catcher to catch and throw.
DeShields on the move, and that ball's in the dirt. Fortunately for the Angels, it stays near the plate. So DeShields get credited with a stolen base.
Yeah, it's spin on the breaking ball. Fortunate enough, because that hit part of his body, Soto kept it in front of him.
Odor hits one out toward left center. Robinson is there. He'll make the catch for the third out, but Texas strikes for 3. We'll head to the 5th. The Angels play from behind, down 4-1.
Ram trucks in. As soon as you release the baseball, you become a 5th infielder as a pitcher. And Richards with a low throw gets away and into the outfield. But the thing is, you're supposed to do is look back where your infielder is going to be. Both shortstop Simmons, second baseman Pennington were in position to field that ball. As a pitcher, you let it go, knowing they're there for coverage. And it would have been an easy double play. Instead, it forces you to make a throw, and it ends up being a low throw. And Richards has done a much better job this season as far as improving his fielding. But that's one of those plays you look back to know exactly where your infielders are at, to know to let that baseball go, and it becomes an easy 6-3 or 4-3 double play.
Halos have 8, 9, and 1 here in the 5th. Robinson, Pennington, and Escobar. Robinson 1 for 1. His Angels debut, scored in the 3rd.
And the one thing you don't want to have happen is allow Hamels now to get in the groove, especially with a 3-run lead.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Robinson fouls that one off his leg. Reset and do it again at 2-2.
Last regular season loss on August 7th of last season. 10-0 in his last 14 starts.
Swing and a miss. Ball gets away from Holiday. He'll throw down to first to complete the strikeout. 1 away. 3rd strikeout of the afternoon for Hamels.
Boy, all his pitches start at the knees for the most part and then drop below. But he has both sides of the plate covered, both away and in, both lefties and righties. Elevates on occasion, but that's when he gets hit.
Pennington, a sacrifice bunt in the 3rd. Takes a strike. The Angels have action in their bullpen.
Like I said, with Richards' velocity on his fastball down a little bit in that last inning, a lot of pitches thrown.
A dribbler foul. That's 1-2.
Anytime you see a pitcher in that 90-92 range after you're used to seeing his average fastball coming in the game at 95.8 miles per hour. That's down 4 or 5 miles per pitch for him today.
One, 2. Out towards shallow center. Odor going out. The Shields coming in, and Odor drops the baseball. May have been distracted a little bit by DeShields. I thought he had it. It'll be a single for Pennington.
Talk about a perfect lob wedge.
Yeah,
that was outstanding. Odor trying to catch that over the shoulder, and with at the last second looks up, sees the Shields that close to him. You see right there, he looks up and sees the Shields right there, and that ball falls in between them.
Brings up Yunel Escobar with 1 out, 1 on. The walk and a ground out for Escobar. Swung at the first pitch in the 3rd and grounded out. In tight. Get now ahead of the count at 2-0.
Good hitters count. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a fastball from Hamels. Even with a 3-run lead, he will throw a cut fastball or throw a changeup away.
3-0. Hamels at 64 pitches. And there's a 4-pitch walk.
Go back to my Hyundai key for this game, especially with this pitching matchup. Make you miss. Both pitchers averaging nearly a strikeout per inning. And now an opportunity against Hamels, as he doesn't necessarily have that strikeout pitch working, to make some good contact and get some runs across and get back in the game.
And Malley loosening, like he's coming into the game in the 5th. That's a 4-inning outing for Garrett.
For a guy that's averaging about 107 pitches per start for Richards.
And I know he had a little rough 4th inning, but
all I'm concerned about, I'm hoping that he's healthy.
Yeah. You're telling me and to everyone else.
Oh, wow.
Considering the start of this season. Cole takes down and in. Calhoun 2 for 2 with a couple of singles.
I never like to see someone dropping velocity like that, but it could have been just a lot of pitches thrown that inning for Richards. Hopefully that's all that was.
Two balls, no strikes. So 6 out of the zone now after giving up the flare single off the bat of Petty. Here comes Doug Rocaille, the pitching coach.
Here's your opportunity to get right back in the game. Cole has had 2 hits already, including an RBI single his last at bat. Very good count. .68 pitches, 40 strikes. These are these moments now as an offense. You try to pick up your ace of your staff. Didn't necessarily have his best stuff working, especially in that last half inning. See if you can pick him up here.
.30.
Certainly a take situation here. Even if he throws a strike, it has to be a perfect 3-1 pitch, because you're going to get the exact same pitch on a 3-2 count if you're Cole.
Pennington at second, Escobar at first. 3-1.
Now, if you get that exact pitch again, let it go. That was right down the heart of the plate, but then in, that was 3-0. And it has to be in your zone if you're Cole. You want Trout to come up with the bases loaded if possible here, unless you get a pitch to drive.
Cole backs out. Trout's on deck. Like I said, rough 2 at-bats against Cole Hamels already today. 2 strikeouts. 3-1 pitch, and he walked him. So the bases are loaded now for Trout.
Well, this is what you want. You're the Angels, and you have to have some patience at some point, especially because a lot of these pitches have been down. This is where Trout could do some damage, a lot of damage. .359 career hitter with the bases loaded, including 4 grand slams.
First one on the way, down and in, almost hits Trout. And it's a 1-0 count. 2 walks in this inning for Hamels, giving him 3 now in the ballgame to go with 3 strikeouts.
It's a pretty good block there by Holiday behind the plate. Keep that even close to the home plate area. Keep in mind, Trout in this ballpark, a .325 hitter coming into the game with 9 home runs, 33 RBI in this yard.
.1-0 pitch. Trout fouls it back. Stayed in off the plate. Pennington at third, Escobar at second, Calhoun at first. It's 4-1 Texas. We're in the fifth. Bases loaded, one out. One. Ground ball over to third. Beltre goes to tag Escobar. The runner is out. The run scores, and it's 4-2. Child will get credited with an RBI. His 14th of the year, but now there are 2 outs.
And now it's time for In the Driver's Seat, brought to you by Kia, with Albert Pujols coming to the plate. As far as most home runs by players born outside the U.S., Sammy Sosa, 609. Rafael Palmeiro, 569. Albert with 566.
Pujols 1 for 2, a double play ball in the first, a single to center in the fourth. 2 on, 2 outs. Now it looks like the Rangers starting to get some action going in their bullpen. Hamels at 74 pitches.
Albert with 3 career home runs against Cole Hamels.
2-0.
He's trying to stay low in the strike zone or below. Albert's had a tough time with low pitches so far this year. Trying to get that pitch elevated like he did last at bat for a base hit.
Two-0 pitch. 3-0. Crone on deck.
Wilhelmsen getting ready quickly. Green light for sure for Albert, but again, bring that pitch up in the strike zone.
3-0. And he walked him. So it's the third walk of the inning, and they're loaded back up now for Crone. Tom Wilhelmsen getting ready for Texas. It's the 4th walk of the game for the left-hander. He had to sit a little bit, but he got the first batter out in Robinson via the strikeout, and then he thought he had the second out on the pop-up off the bat of Pennington, but Odor couldn't come up with it.
I think once he fell behind 2-0 to Albert, he wasn't going to give in. Remember Jim Palmer telling us about that all those times, especially in certain counts or even if there's bases loaded. He wasn't going to give in, especially if he fell behind. Veterans know that. Now it's up to C.J. Crone to make him pay for that.
And Jim always reminds you, too, that he never gave up a grand slam in his career. First one, a called strike.
Wow.
That pitch was in off the plate, not even close. Dale Scott, you got a guy that can't throw a strike right now this inning, and you're giving him help with this.
I mean, this is well off the inside corner. And then the catcher can't even frame it. It's that much movement off the inside part of the plate.
1 ball, 1 strike. CJ 1 for 2 with a ground down and a single.
Very good numbers as far as RBI in his career for Crone against the Rangers. He's a real big hit here. This time didn't get that call off the inside corner.
2 balls, 1 strike.
It's almost the exact same spot.
Yeah.
Holiday setting up in. Very similar as far as trying to catch that. It's about a half a baseball or so off the inside corner.
Should be a 3-0 count. Said it's 2 balls, 1 strike. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Changeup. Crone trying to pull it. Comes up empty. So it's a 2 ball, 2 strike count. Halos down by 2 here in the 5th. 1 for 8 with men in scoring position this afternoon. And the 2-2. And that's a base hit to right field. It'll bring in 1. Trout is going to be waved in. Mazzara comes up firing. It's offline, and we're tied at 4. C.J. Cron with a 2 RBI single.
Mr. RBI against the Rangers comes through.
And he takes a pitch away, and he punches it to right.
Good adjustment made by C.J. Cron. This was looking to make contact. I think it was a changeup, or a cutter, I should say, on the inner part of the plate. Mazzaro has a good throwing arm, but that's up the third base line. You're not going to throw Trout out. But what a big at bat for C.J. Cron. A tough inning for both starters.
Yep.
This inning.
Soto 0 for 2. Fly ball to right and a pop up to short. Again, that pitch called a strike, and it's not a strike. Evens account at 1-1. Off speed pitch, 1-2.
Last time after a changeup he threw to C.J. Cron, he came inside with a fastball. I wonder if he stays away again with another changeup, or does he try to sneak another cut fastball in?
It's Pujols at second and Cron at first. Bottom of the 4th, top of the 5th combined, 16 batters. 6 runs scored between these two teams.
And 2 pitchers coming into the game with ERAs, outstanding ERAs. 2.35 for Richards, 2.52 for Hamels.
Soto goes down swinging on an off-speed pitch, and that'll do it for the Angels. They do tie things up with 3. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. It's a 4-4 tie. This telecast of Angels baseball on Fox Sports West is brought to you by Subaru Loves Promise. Subaru's pledge to do right by the communities in which we all live and work. By Heffernan Insurance Brokers, insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com. And by El Pollo Loco. Try the new double chicken salads today. It's the bottom of the 5th inning. We're tied at 4, and the Angels have a new pitcher on, which is a little surprising for us. We'll talk about that here in just a second. They're in and out. Who's in, who's out? There's Greg Malik. We'll face 2, 3, and 4. The reason I say a little surprise is just the fact that Garrett, while he's given up 4 runs, 1 earned, 6 hits, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, total of 79 pitches in 4 innings. So he's done after 4.
Yeah, and just hoping everything's okay health-wise for Richards. So important to this staff and this entire team and organization.
And Malley was warming up as the Angels came to the plate against Hamels. Azara looks at a strike, and he's in the hole at 0-2. Second appearance for Malley in the series. He pitched Friday night, went 2/3 of an inning, all zeros. Azara 0 for 2, a double play ball in the first, a strikeout in the third. Cued foul.
An arm angle that Malley throws from. Throws it inside. We'll also throw a breaking ball from that arm angle too, away.
Out to left. Robinson is there. One down. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Los Angeles Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. This 4-inning outing, too, by the way, for Garrett, his shortest start since June 6th of last year, and that was at Yankee Stadium. That was the game he got knocked around and lasted just 2/3 of an inning.
And going back, I mean, you mentioned 79 pitches. He's averaging 107 pitches per game, which is amongst the tops in that category in baseball as far as pitches thrown in the start.
79, and the Angels scored 3 to tie things up. This one down the line, it's a fair ball. Ricochets back toward left. Beltre will easily get to Sackler with a double. Eighth double of the season for the Ranger third baseman. And it's Prince Fielder coming up. Will Helmson's still loosening for Texas, so Cole Hamels might be done after 5 innings.
Well, I'd consider what we talked about in the opening as far as this pitching matchup.
It's a good thing we showcased those guys.
Yes, early enough we did.
Yep. Like Scioscia's coming out here to.
He wants to see if he missed maybe first base.
They're going to appeal at first base. That's what it looks like.
You got to wait till in play, then step off the pitching rubber, and then throw over. And then Mike Scioscia is going to look in to see if he's going to challenge this potentially, and he will. See right here if indeed he did miss the base. That's real close if he did. It didn't look like he made a whole lot of contact, but if he did, he barely brushed his foot on it.
Yeah.
Credit Steve Solis in the clubhouse looking at this play potentially.
It looked like it looked like when he planted, he wasn't on the base, but it looked as he was pushing off, like the foot maybe.
You saw a lot of
corner.
You did see a lot of dirt though.
So the Angels are challenging the call at first.
See this angle potentially.
There's no movement from the bag standpoint.
No, exactly. Now if there's a straight over the top look at the base.
Let's get that camera view from the drone.
Yes. Well, there's so many different camera angles here that we don't get a chance to look at. We have just a few to work with. But I agree. Where's that drone at?
Yeah, we do need a drone.
Yes.
Well, clearly the Angels feel confident enough to only throw over to first base to appeal, but also challenge it.
Again, it looks right there as if there's not a lot of movement in the base at all. And you see dirt.
So the call will either be confirmed or it is confirmed. So Halo's out of challenges. So Fielder facing Malley. His first pitch swinging. It's 0-1. Fielder 0 for 2. Fly ball left to the fielder's choice. He has scored a run. Oh, 2. Ground ball over to the right side. That's Pennington in shallow right.
Big out for Malley right there to get a ground ball right to Pennington.
2 down.
Well, I'm wondering if Mike Scioscia will even pitch to Desmond here at this spot, especially with an open base and a lefty on deck.
There it is, the sign to intentionally walk Desmond. Is 2 for 2, a double, a single, and an RBI. So first and third, 2 down. And Moreland up. RBI double in the second, struck out looking in the fourth. Malley trying to keep this a 4-4 tie, get the Angels back in the dugout for the 6th inning.
And sort of looking into Mike Scioscia as far as what play would they put on if indeed Desmond tries to steal. It's Simmons right there at the base.
4 bags on the year for Desmond.
I think if he tries to go, you let him go. You have the lefty versus lefty matchup you want anyhow.
Breaking ball for a strike. Delayed steal. So second and third. Just go a little bit further outside.
Yeah, you got to trust your catcher. And again, if you're Shane Robinson in left field, you have to be ready just in case of a flare. You might want to even take a step or so in your position. He's been active out there in the outfield, already 4 fly balls his way.
And he got him. Down goes Moreland. And the Rangers leave a couple of men on. 5 in the books. We're tied at 4. This telecast of Angels baseball on Fox Sports West is brought to you by T-Mobile. Get Major League coverage. T-Mobile has doubled its 4G LTE in the last year. And by Energy Upgrade California. It's easy to stay golden at energyupgradeca.org.
Top of the 6th inning. And a 4-4 tie. Both starters knocked out of this game. Garrett after 4 for some reason. We haven't been told that through 79 pitches. Mike Scioscia made the move. Cole Hamels done after 5. Gave up 4 runs on 7 hits. Struck out 4 and walked 4. He had a shaky 5th inning, including 3 walks. As the Angels sent 8 men to the plate, and here in the 6th, they'll face Tom Wilhelmsen. Pitching in his 10th game. Back-to-back games for Wilhelmsen. 1 inning last night and allowed a hit. Simmons, Robinson, Pennington, the bottom third of the order. Breaking ball catches the inside corner 0-2. Time called. Halos trying to avoid the sweep here in Texas. Texas winning the first 2 games. This one cued over to the right side. Moreland has it. 1 down. They're trying to avoid a second time this year where they've swept a series and then have gone into a town and been swept. That happened earlier this year. The Angels swept the Oakland Athletics to start the first road trip of the season, then got swept by the Minnesota Twins. That is, I mean, that's such a big swing.
That's
for
hard
teams.
to do. That's really hard to do. And what it's come down to mostly has really been the inconsistent offense. The pitching for the most part has been solid enough. Just looking for that 1 through 9 consistency we were anticipating coming into the season. Even talking to Paul Sorrento again, Dave Hansen, that's all they want to do is get back to that point where they're going to be scoring 4 or 5, 6 runs every single game, no matter who's on the mound.
It's like Dale Scott opening up the strike zone now. 0-2 count on Robinson. 1 for 2 today. His Angels debut. Breaking ball cued towards short. Robinson, good speed. That's the only play that Andrews really had on a ball hit that slowly. So that's an infield base hit.
So you got to anticipate right now that Mike Scioscia is going to have Robinson on the move, maybe hit and run with Pennington because he handles the bat well. Wilhelmsen a little bit slower to the plate. Andrews tried to get around the baseball, knows he has to use that bare hand and all in one motion, but unable to grip the baseball. And an infield hit for Robinson, 2nd hit of the game for him.
Pennington a sack bunt of the 3rd inning, a single with a run scored in the 5th. Big lead for Shane at first. This is back up the middle, a base hit. Turning and heading toward 3rd is Robinson. The throw is cut off. Pennington off of 1st is able to get back to the bag.
That's excellent base running that's taught throughout the organization. And Robinson down in AAA knows that the Angels are going to be aggressive, and right away that ball's hit right at the Shields in center. And it's a good view right here, exactly what he tried to do. Sees that baseball up the middle and never hesitates. He's going to challenge the arm of the Shields, and it's all about the angle he took, and aggressively gets into 3rd base. But that's taught in the organization.
You know what? And credit the read, too, because DeShields, it's not as if he charged that baseball to throw to 3rd and keep Robinson at 2nd. It was only at the last second where all of a sudden he decided to pick it up. So 1st and 3rd, 1 out. Yunel Escobar at the plate. Escobar 0 for 1. He's walked twice and he's grounded out once.
Slightly different pace with Mel Helmsley on the mound instead of Cole Hamels, and boy, Pennington was leaning there. That throws on the outfield side of first base. Might have a shot at getting Cliff. 1-0 count on Escobar. Infield single for Robinson and a base hit to center by Pennington.
Career-wise, as far as stealing against Will Helmsley, 36 of 39 attempts. Does have one career pickoff, so he is susceptible for sure to the stolen base.
Escobar 2 for 8 in his career against Will Helmsley. That's out towards center. Deep enough to score Robinson. Sac fly for Yanel Escobar. The Angels have taken a 5-4 lead.
Good situational hitting and good base running produces the go-ahead run. Infield hit. Shane Robinson goes first to third on a base hit, hard hit up the middle, and then scores on a sac fly by Escobar.
Liddell picks up his 8th run batted in. Pennington at first, 2 down now, and here's Cole. Calhoun's been on board 3 times today with 2 singles, a walk, an RBI, and a run scored. He's 3 for 6 in his career against Will Helmsley. Cuts through the high fastball. See how visibly upset he was for chasing that pitch.
He's been doing a solid, especially early in the season, did not chase that, but then he had that stretch in which he was having a tough time making contact, chasing high pitches. So far in this game, very solid he was against Cole Hamels. Again, going to that back corner of the base, a longer tag for the first baseman. Certainly looks like he wants to try to run Pennington. It's a pretty good size lead.
Hit in the air toward right center field. Towering shot. DeShields and Mazzara. And it is DeShields with the call on the catch. Inning is over, but the Angels take a 5-4 lead on the Escobar sac fly as we head to the bottom of the 6th.
Crisp, Coors Light. Roller coaster season last year for the Rangers. 2015 started off the season 7-15, then got hot. The next 46 games, winning 30 of them, then struggled again, then finished up extremely strong. In the last 63 games, go 41-22, and yes, I would never go on that roller coaster. That's a pretty good job by our guys picking up the roller coaster season for the Rangers, and you got the roller coaster, Six Flags, right across the street.
It's been a while since we've seen Six Flags. As we start the bottom of the 6th inning, Andrews, Holiday, and DeShields coming into face Mike Moore, pitching his 14th game, 1-0 record, 2.89 ERA. Craig Malley went 1 inning, and 1 hit, 1 strikeout, 1 intentional walk. The Angels had needed 5+ innings of bullpen help to finish off yesterday's ball game. Needing 5 innings out of the bullpen today. They're leading at 5-4. Elvis Andrus 1 for 2, a single and a pop-up. Roller to short. One short's down, retires the other, and there's the first out of the 6th.
That all important first out of an inning.
Catcher Ryan Holiday.
Holiday 0 for 2. A fly ball to left and a strikeout looking.
Good first pitch slider. Warren's fastball 90-94 range. Good slider, but a plus changeup.
Holiday skies one out the left. Shane Robinson puts it away for round number 2.
Mike Warren got away with that one. That was a mistake as far as fastball location.
Hey, register your little angel for the 2016 Junior Angels Kids Club for only $18. Members receive 4 ticket vouchers, a Junior Angels lunch bag, and other exclusive gifts. Sign up today at angels.com/juniorangels. But no selfie stick. That's part of a Guinness World Records attempt.
Can't wait. Be part of another record.
We should get certificates for those records.
Yes.
Put those up in the office.
That'll be what 6 or 7 of them now?
I've lost track.
We're gonna start calling you Mr. Guinness.
Cheers. DeShields 2 RBI single in the 4th. He's 1 for 2. Pretty good pitch. 2 balls, no strikes.
And 2 outs, 2-0, but that was a pretty good pitch there. Maybe just about a hair off the inside corner, though.
Moore trying to complete a 1-2-3 inning. Garrett Richards had 1. That was back in the 3rd. That'll leave an account of 2-2. Two now. DeShields chops this one to 3rd. Escobar has it. Goes across the diamond. There's the 1-2-3 shutdown inning. We'll head to the 7th with the Angels leading at 5-4. This telecast of Angels baseball on Fox Sports West is brought to you by Mercury Insurance. On a mission to save you money, log on to MercuryInsurance.com today to get a fast free quote and see how much you could save. And by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Halos up 5-4 as we begin the 7th inning, and a pitching change for Jeff Bannister and the Texas Rangers. Tom Wilhelmsen gave up the go-ahead run to the Angels in the 6th inning, no longer in the game, and it's Sam Dyson taking over for him. 11th game, 0-1 record, a 2.70 ERA, second appearance in the series for the right-hander.
About a power sinking fastball, 93-97 range. Also a change-up slider.
Picked up in a trade with the Marlins last year, pitching 31 games for Texas, went 2-1 with a 1.15 ERA down the stretch. Delivers a strike, first pitch to Trout. Trout 0 for 3. Picked up an RBI in the 5th on a fielder's choice, and he scored one of the 3 runs. 0-2.
Dyson is a ground ball machine. Let's talk about the highest percentage of ground balls, 68% for Dyson. Very difficult to hit something in the air unless he makes a mistake.
One-two from Dyson, and Trout laces that one foul into the seats. Pujols on deck.
Against Dyson with that power sinking fastball, but Trout, who crushes the low pitch, you can square this up. He can go a long way with this power fastball.
Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Halos with 9 hits this afternoon. Texas with 7. Two from the righty. It's a ground ball to third. Beltre has it. One down.
Designated hitter Albert Pujols.
Albert a 1 for 2 game with a single and a walk. He will take ball 1. A couple of finals in the American League. Chicago White Sox 7-1 winners over the Baltimore Orioles. White Sox now 18-8.
One of their best starts they've had in recent time. They've been really slow going out of the gate the last number of seasons under Robin Ventura. Very solid so far this year.
Toronto beat Tampa Bay 5-1. Cleveland lost to Philadelphia. The Phillies, red hot Phillies, have won 6 in a row. 1-2. Giants over the Mets. Nats over the Cards. Reds over the Bucks in 11. Albert pops it up. Third base line. Beltre coming down the line in foul territory. 2 down. Kansas City's up early on the Seattle 2-0. That game's in the 4th. Houston leading Oakland 2-0.
The Royals had not scored in 26 straight innings.
Royals at the start of the day, 3rd place American League Central, 4 back. Chicago leading the Central. The Tigers second with a 13-10 record.
They're hitting the baseball this year. Jordan Zimmerman's been outstanding in the rotation for him.
And the Tigers currently leading 6-5. The game's in the 8th. Crones had a nice game. 2 for 3. 2 RBIs, single in the 5th to tie the score at 4 in the 5th inning.
Real good bat he had there too against Cole Hamels. Had the chasing changeup, went the other way on a fastball in.
A late swing there by CJ. Still at 1-2. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. The Angels go down in order. The stretch time here in Texas. 5-4 Halos. For the Angels, 3-game series in Milwaukee beginning tomorrow night. 2 night games and a day game. And it's back home against the Rays and the St. Louis Cardinals. The Angels do have an off day a week from tomorrow. And then it's back out on the road to Seattle for their first visit to the Emerald City.
And Weaver on the hill tomorrow for the Halos. 3-0 mark. Jimmy Nelson 3-2 for the Brew Crew. The ERA 3.16.
Bottom of the 7th, 5-4 Halos, and it is Jose Alvarez on a relief of Mike Moore, who had a 1-2-3-6. Alvarez pitching his 13th game, 0-1 record, a 4.15 ERA. Pitched last night, ended up going an inning and 2/3, giving up 3 hits and striking out 1. He's at the top of the order to deal with here. Odor, Mazzara, and Beltre. Brooklyn Odor 1 for 3. He singled in the first. Drag ball on first base side, and that is going to go for an infield base hit. Tying run on board.
It's a pretty good decision by Odor. Especially when he has swung the bat this entire series. The surprise element of the bunt, especially with a left-handed pitcher, is going to fall to that third base side of the mound. Very difficult play to be able to react and get back and cover that side of the field.
Lifted out toward left. Robinson is there. One down. Odor back to first.
I wonder if Mike Scioscia will think about the bullpen now.
I assume so. You've got Beltre coming up. Numbers for Alvarez against right-handers not pretty, and Scioscia is going to go to the bullpen here. So a bunt base hit and an out for Alvarez. He goes 1/3 of an inning. A pitching change. We're in the 7th with the Angels up 5-4. Games live on your mobile device. Just go to your app store and download the free Fox Sports Go app. Log in, stream the Angels wherever you go. 5-4 Halos, 1 out here in the 7th. The man on, and it's Fernando Salas on in relief. Jose Alvarez, who had 1/3 of an inning. Fernando pitching in his 12th game. 1-1 mark and a 2.92 ERA.
Fastball is going to be that 92 range. Throw a 2-seam fastball, 88, 89. Very good slider plus changeup also, but also pretty quick to the plate. He's allowed 2 stolen bases in 3 attempts. You might see Odor kind of steal a base right away.
Adrian Beltre 1 for 3 in his career against Salas. Has a double in this ball game. That was in the 5th inning against Craig Malley. Well, 1 count. Beltre staring back at Dale Scott. We've got hitters from both sides doing that today. Good lead for Odor at first.
One thing about Fernando, he does a very good job as far as holding the baseball. That is the best defense against a running game. A pitcher able to hold the baseball, stop him. No momentum going forward as a base stealer. Then he will quick pitch.
Odor takes off. The pitch is upstairs to throw to second. A good one, and they got him. Yes, they did. 2 down.
It's all about that quick tag also by Pennington. Odor's looking in. Obviously, they'll look. But that was a quick tag by Pennington and a quick throw from Soto behind the plate. A decent jump, but a quick throw with a tag right on the money. Looked like he got him. Yeah, definitely got him. No question.
No argument from Odor, who's walked all the way back toward the dugout.
But that was an unbelievably quick tag. A perfect throw. It's a long time to look in.
They gotta start putting a clock on this too. Gonna challenge it.
I mean, at some point you have to put a time on how long you can wait and how many different angles.
Yeah.
Unless we missed something, it looked like the tag was there.
Yeah, they changed the rules where the manager doesn't have to walk out to talk to the umpires to challenge. They can do it from the dugout, but it takes forever. I don't know what they're challenging.
Yeah, I see the tag on him before the hand is there. I mean, I know it's a gamble worth taking at this point in the game, especially when you have an RBI producer up. But it sure looks like the tag is applied before his hand gets on the base.
Oh, we haven't seen an angle yet that contradicts that. But yeah, they're gonna have to pick up this pace on this whole review thing.
I think that's the next step.
Calls out,
and they didn't waste any time.
Out.
Again, it's all about how quick that tag was by Pennington. Catches it, and then bam, tag. Right there. I mean, hand's not on the base.
Beltre with a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
Another good spot thrown by a pitcher today that's not called, but yet there's some spots off the plate that have been called. Going back to that good throw too by Soto. What a quick release he had in the transfer.
3-1.
Last year threw out 30% of would-be base stealers. This year a little over 20% for Soto.
Fielder is on deck. Beltre, foul ball back. Full count. This one out towards shallow center. Pennington almost gets to it. It falls in for a 2-out single. Second hit of the afternoon for Beltre. Keeps the inning alive for Fielder.
How big was that throw and tag there to get Odor trying to steal to get into scoring position for Beltre? Well, he almost got to that baseball.
Fielder 0 for 3. Has a run scored. Takes a strike. Fielder 4 for 7 in his career against Fernando Salas with 2 home runs. Lifts it in the air down the line. Robinson having chase with this one into the seats. Oh-2 count. Both teams with 9 hits. Halos have stranded 6. Texas has stranded 5. 1-1 game heading into the bottom of the 4th. Texas scored 3 times to take a 4-1 lead. Only see the Angels tie things up in the 5th and then take the lead in the 6th. Sac fly by Yunel Escobar, snapping the 4-4 tie. Here's the 0-2. Well, he got him to chase that high fastball and he fouled it back.
And then they're going to have a quick conversation after that swing on the high fastball. Upstairs got him the chase on it, but he was still pretty much on that pitch. Even that far off the plate and way above the strike zone.
One-two. Bouncer foul.
After that high fastball, back-to-back off-speed pitches by Salas against Fielder. Playing extremely deep in the outfield. All 3. Trout's almost on the warning track in center.
Foul back.
Oh, nice play.
Nice catch by an Usher up here. On the run, too.
Yes. It's like he's a wide receiver. What a play. And still in motion. Got an extra few yards on the catch.
This is line to center, a base hit. Travels playing deep, so Beltre will turn it head to third. And now it is first and third with 2 outs. And the red hot Ian Desmond coming up.
You mentioned that confrontation between Fielder and Salas, and again, another hit for Fielder against Fernando Salas. Even when he was ahead initially 0-2, it's a pretty good pitch. Changeup going off the plate and away. It still hit that ball up the middle for a base hit. Some guys, when you're comfortable against a pitcher, doesn't matter what you throw, they're going to find a way to get a hit.
Desmond on board 3 times with a double, a single, an intentional walk, an RBI, and 2 runs scored. Takes outside. Beltre at third, Fielder at first. 5-4 Angels. We're in the seventh. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's amazing that backup from Simmons. Every time a baseball is thrown back from the catcher to the pitcher, he's always in position to back him up.
One ball, 2 strikes. Handles have Soto, Simmons, and Robinson coming up in the 8th. Two balls, 2 strikes. Back-to-back singles, putting runners at the corners. 2-2 now. Full count. Here's the payoff pitch. Desmond fouls it off. Fielder, of course, was on the move. Moreland, the man on deck. Payoff, and he got him with a fastball, just blew it right by him.
The key was less than that 93 Ranger, which he's been very successful. Swing and miss for Fernando Salas at 91.
the 8th with the Angels leading the Rangers 5-4. I'm Patrick O'Neill. Join us after this game for Angels Live. And I know curious minds want to know why Garrett Richards only threw 79 pitches in 4 innings. And I may be just a mere 10 feet from manager Mike Scioscia, but it is in my best interest to let him manage this game. Try to get the Angels a victory. So you must wait for after the game for Angels Live, and we'll get that information to you. In the meantime, Victor and Mark, let's bring this one home. It's up to the bullpen.
Nice a lot, Patio. As we head to the 8th here, Jake Diekman takes over on the mound, the left-hander, and Fireballer to face Soto, Simmons, and Robinson here in the 8th. The Angels up by the score of 5-4.
And Diekman's fastball is 94 to 98 range, so about 80% of his pitches. Fastball also will throw a hard slider, very occasional changeup.
It's pretty good throwing in the Cole Hamels deal, coming over from the Phillies.
You think about it.
First action of the series for Diekman. Giovanni takes a breaking ball for a strike. Soto 0 for 3. 2 fly ball outs and a strikeout.
That's that tough arm angle he throws from across his body. You don't give the hitter much of an opportunity to be able to read the baseball out of his hand, then deal with mid to upper 90s. See why his ERA is at 0 right now.
And that is hammered out to deep left field, and that is gone. Big fly for Giovanni Soto, and the Angels get some insurance.
That's a big swing from Soto, his 2nd home run of his series against his former team. That baseball got out quickly, and now Diekman does have an ERA. And that swing right there from Giovanni Soto was certainly worthy of a Carl's Cam replay. Fastball, you're looking fastball against him, inner half of the plate, barrel the base of the bat on that baseball, and out of here quickly for home run number 3 of the season for Giovanni Soto.
Second of the series for Gio. 6-4 now here in the 8th inning. Here's Simmons taking ball 1. Andrelton is 0 for 3.
Nice inning, really, when you think about Soto throws out Odor, and then hits a solo shot. So really saved the run potentially, and also now adds a run.
Chopper right side. That's Odor, the second baseman. 1 down. Shane Robinson coming up. Nobody warming up for the Angels. The Rangers in the bottom of the 8th have Moreland, Andrews, and Holiday coming up. Joe Smith, of course, is now the guy that's closing games out with Houston Street on the DL. At least that's what we anticipate. So Salas for 2nd inning. Nice debut for Robinson. A couple of singles, 2 runs scored, and a strikeout.
Very active in left field also. Has been a lot of plays out there today. So welcome to the club.
Two-1 fouled off. Evens a count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Full count. Pennington, a ninth place hitter at second baseman, is on deck. And he walked him.
Good at bat again for Robinson.
Hey, follow Angels Baseball live with MLB.com at Bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, #1 app for live baseball. Cliff 2 for 2. A couple of singles and a sacrifice bunt. He's also scored a run.
And a couple solid defensive plays himself.
Oh, 2. Top of the order, Escobar on deck. Giovanni Soto homering to lead off this 8th inning to extend the Angels' lead. Pennington fouls it off.
First run of the season allowed by Diekman. Only the 3rd hit he has allowed. Say the first earned run. Diekman is allowed 2, but both unearned. ERA at 0.
Wilhelmsen gave up the go-ahead run to the Angels in the 6th inning. Pennington strikes out for out number 2. Two outs, 1 on. Here's Escobar. 2 walks, a ground down, and a sac fly. RBI for Escobar in the 6th inning, his 8th of the year. And he shoots one out to center, and that'll get down for a base hit. Robinson will stay at second.
3rd time on base for Escobar in this game. A couple walks, base hit, and a sac fly his last at bat. 11 hits for the Angels in this game.
Call a 2 for 3 game with a couple of singles and an RBI. 5 for 11 in the series. Those two guys have had a nice afternoon. C.J. Cron with a big 2 RBI, 2 out base hit in the 5th to tie things up at 4. 2 balls, no strikes. Garrett Richards got 4 innings in today before he was lifted, giving up 4 runs, 1 earned on 6 hits. Cole Hamels lifted after 5. 4 runs, all earned on 7 hits. He had 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. Cole bounces this one off the body. It's 2 balls and a strike. That's a pitch that gets by Holiday, and that'll advance the base runners. Robinson over to third now, and Escobar to second.
Seems it could be a big mistake by Diekman. Overthrown fastball. And Cole's done a nice job as far as getting a base hit in the left center field against left-handed pitching this season.
A little pass ball, right?
That's one of those plays you would think, even though he was setting up in, it was wide, but you still have a chance to catch that one.
What's the old adage? If it hits your glove, you should catch it. Or should be able to catch it.
I always agree with that one.
As a former pitcher, right?
Yes. Or if you're in the same area code, too, that's good enough, too.
Yeah, 3 balls and a strike here on Cole. Trout on deck. Diekman's thrown 24 pitches this inning. Three-1. Cole fouls it back. Good swing.
He was on that 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and he was looking to go the other way, which has been successful again for him against left-handed pitching. Once you're coming in the game, 300 batting average, certainly goes up with 2 hits in this game against Cole Hamels.
Payoff pitch. Cole bounces it foul. Right in front of Alfredo Griffin. Alfredo filling in for Gary DiSarcina this weekend. Alfredo.
We'll see Gary soon. Take care of a family matter back home.
Another payoff on the way. Cole breaks his bat loose, one out to shallow right field. That'll fall in for a base hit. What is Escobar doing? There are two outs. Escobar stopped between second and third. That should be a 2-run single. Well, that cost the Angels a run. It's 7-4, and that's going to be it for Diekman.
That could be a huge run, too.
No doubt.
That's an automatic run. And a little flair. Nature boy. Ric Flair.
Pitching change here. Diekman is done after giving up a couple of runs. The Angels leading at 7-4.
with 2 outs. Cole with a good at bat against a very tough lefty, and Diekman flares that into the outfield. But as you can see right there, Escobar's waiting to see if that ball is down. With 2 outs, as soon as that baseball is hit, you're going, and you're easily scoring. Instead at third base, hoping that Mike Trout now can pick him up, get that extra run across. You always need to add on in this ballpark against this lineup for Texas.
Cost Cole an RBI. Should be a 3 RBI afternoon. Instead, it's 2. As Alex Claudio takes over for Diekman. John at the plate. Runners at first and third. 2 outs here in the 8th. Claudio from the Ali Perez school of pitching for left-handers all over as far as the arm angle.
Very, very good changeup, and throws it a lot.
There it is right there.
And that's at 66 miles an hour.
I mean, you don't see that too often, more straight change. Let's see the flipped up curveball, the Ephus pitch maybe. One. This is fouled off.
There it is again. So far it changed at 66. That one at 68.
One, 2. Trout drives one out toward right. Bizarro racing back. That is over his head, off the base of the wall. Trout on his way to second as Escobar scores. Calhoun over to third. 8-4 Angels. Trout picks up his 14th run batted in.
And tried to sneak a fastball by him after 2 really good changeups. And Trout doubles. 6th double, 14th RBI, 15th RBI. 83 looks like it's probably about 90 something, but it went with it and off the wall. Played well by Mazzaro to get it in quickly to prevent another run from scoring. So that run ends up scoring anyhow in Escobar. Trout picked them up.
There's Albert. He will look at a strike. Pujols, a 1-for-3 game with a single in the 4th inning. 13 hits for the Angels this afternoon. We're just at the top of the 8th. Changeup missing low. This at one point, when you go back to that 4th inning, this was on pace to be a just over 2-hour game. Then that 4th inning happened, the top of the 5th happened, and everything completely slowed down. A lot of base runners for both sides. A lot of pitching changes. Albert grounds this one to the left side. It's Elvis Andrus. And it's a low throw dug out by Moreland. Fortunately, Andrews has a good glove guy at first base. The Angels are done here in the 8th. They scored 3 times. We'll head to the bottom of the inning. Halos leading at 8-4.
A perfect swing by Giovanni Soto against Diekman. Got a fastball inner half and got the barrel of the bat on that one. Hits that out quickly. 2 home runs in the series for Soto.
On top, bottom of the 8th inning, Fernando Salas back out on the bump. Moreland, Andrews, and Holiday for Texas here in the 8th. Salas finished up the 7th, going 2/3 of an inning, giving up back-to-back singles before striking out Desmond to get out of the 7th inning.
Good running fastball, two-seam fastball from Fernando Salas.
One. Moreland looking to bunt with the shift on. Takes a strike, 1-2.
I was watching him the other day in batting practice, doing that a lot, just bunting right down the third base line. Looked like he wanted to call timeout, didn't get it. You don't have to give it to him as a home plate umpire.
One out.
Put his hand up to call timeout. See him there hesitating, wants to call timeout, but Fernando's already going through his motion. Dale Scott rings him up. Perfect location, that 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Again, you can request it. It's not always granted, especially when you see the pitcher already getting ready to deliver the baseball.
Yep. Elvis Andrus, a 1-for-3 game. The busy Shane Robinson. 2 down. Brings up Holiday.
That's 6 fly ball outs to him today. As you would have if you have good hands, if you're Sugar Shane Robinson.
I've got, although the starting pitcher did not go requisite 5, I got Greg Malley.
Yep, he should be in
the
position.
pitcher of record, right?
For his first major league W.
Yeah.
The Angels can hold on.
Ground ball over to third. Escobar has it. A 1-2-3 inning for Fernando Salas. We'll head to the 9th inning. 8-4 Angels. For Cole Calhoun. Robinson in his Angels debut with a couple of knocks. Pennington as well with a couple of knocks. C.J. Cron, 2 runs batted in. The Angels have swung the bats well this afternoon. The only guy hitless is the shortstop Andrelton Simmons. He'll get an opportunity here against Alex Claudio, who's going to pitch the ninth. Crone, Soto, Simmons, scheduled 3 batters.
CJ had that real big hit back in the 5th inning going the other way against Cole Hamels. Both starters struggled today.
One ball, one strike. Just off the plate. Full count. Not an overpowering fastball, but when you're trying to sit on a 66, 67 mile per hour changeup, it looks like it's 100 miles an hour.
That's what was so impressive about Trout's at bat when he doubled off the wall at 83 mile an hour fastball. Yeah, I can be on that, but when you're dealing with 66, 67 on a changeup, it's not that easy.
Ground ball to the right side. It's a base hit for C.J. Crone. 3rd hit of the ball game.
I think it's safe to say he likes hitting against Texas pitching. You look at the majority of the hits he has had. That's just a good at bat going the other way. Again, another fastball. 81 mile an hour fastball, but serves that in the right field for a base hit.
Out to shallow center. It's a base hit. Giovanni Soto with a multi-hit game. So back-to-back singles to start this 9th.
Shortstop Andrelton Simmons.
Andrelton 0 for 4. Tails will head up to Milwaukee after the ball game. Texas heads out on the road. They go to Toronto and Detroit. Texas has that 4-game series in Toronto.
Oh, we've done that a number of times.
Yeah.
What, about 3-4 years in a row. Especially all those good night games too. 4-game series, all night games.
Little flare out to right field, and Odor lets it fall. It'll go as a hit. They get the force out at second.
Almost as if he was trying to let that
Yeah,
fall.
I
You're
think-
not going to be able to get a double play. You wouldn't think out of that.
Right. So instead of having 1st and 2nd and 1 out, now you've got 1st and 3rd with 1 out.
Under the circumstances, the Angels will take that anytime.
There goes a fielder's choice.
You see him going back, and he just stopped. He could reach out and made that play rather easily.
Robinson, couple of singles, a walk, 3 runs scored. That one just missed in. 2-0 pitch. Caught the inside corner. Like Joe Smith getting ready for the Angels. Has not pitched this weekend. Check swing. Did not go. 3-1.
Some real solid at bats for Robinson. Showing a good eye. Most important thing, especially that part of the lineup, number 8 spot in the lineup, 3 runs scored. A lot of production in the 8-9 spot. 4 hits, 4 runs scored.
Three-2 on the way. Robinson just got a piece of it. Simmons was on the move there.
Watching Cliff Pennington, he's almost in the batter's box himself, trying to check out and try to get a read out of Claudio as far as his delivery. I mean, he is really close. Again, that's I guess a suggestion where that on deck circle is.
Kind of like the coach's box.
Yes.
Another payoff. Simmons takes off. Little high chopper. That's going to bring in a run. And it's 9-4.
A gift run.
How big is that now, considering the play that Odor had? Because otherwise, like I said, it's first and second, 1 out.
Yep. And anytime you can add on in this ballpark, you will take it. And an RBI for Robinson, getting some high fives going into that dugout.
Simmons ends up at second base. 2 outs. Man in scoring position for Cliff Pennington. Pennington, a couple of singles and a sac bunt.
When that shadow over the mound, you have the lights, it's creating a different type of look than normal as far as shadows. And you have the dark shadows at the plate and then some sunshine through. The only thing it benefits now as a hitter that Claudio doesn't overpower you necessarily with a fastball. It's a changeup.
Check swing foul.
That look right there was if he had a difficult time seeing that pitch. Somebody's saying something to him.
That guys complain when they got the shadows and you got someone on the mound throwing mid-90s. Just as difficult with that Bugs Bunny changeup.
Yes.
1-2 pulled foul. Nine, 4 Halos. We're in the 9th. I wonder if Joe Smith actually pitches the 9th, or maybe A.J. Octor comes in and starts the inning. 9-1-2 due up for Texas.
You see by that swing by Pennington how difficult it was to stay back on that pitch at 67.
15 hits this afternoon for the Angels. Tied ball game. The Angels opened it up in the 8th with a 3-run 8th inning against the left-hander Diekman, and have added one here in the 9th. This one out to center. Odor is there calling for it. He'll make this catch And we will head to the bottom of the ninth. The Angels up 9-4. The finale of this three-game set, trying to avoid the sweep at the hands of the Texas Rangers. And Joe Smith is not pitching this series. He will pitch here in the ninth inning. Non-safe situation, but get some work in. Angels will head up to Milwaukee to begin a three-game series tomorrow night against the Brew Crew. 13th game for Joe. 0-1 record, has one save. Mentioned he is the guy that Mike Socha leaning on to close things out while Houston Street has to deal with the strained oblique that forced him on the 15-day disabled list. It'll be DeShields, Odor, and Mazzara, 2 up for the Texas Rangers, barring any pinch hitters. And it looks like Greg Mahle is indeed in line for his first major league win. Mahle pitched the 5th inning and allowed a hit, struck out a man, and had one intentional walk. But it was in the top of the 6th after Mahle pitched the bottom of the 5th inning, in which the Angels took the lead on the sac fly by Yunel Escobar. That's making Mahle the pitcher of record, and the Angels have made it hold up and see if Joe Smith can close it out. DeShields a 1-for-3 game, had a 2 RBI single in the 4th.
What a good job by Fernando Salas today, the way he threw the baseball. The bullpen itself, Mahle, Mike Morin, Alvarez, now Joe Smith trying to finish it up.
DeShields flips one out to shallow center. Trout will come in and pick it up. And it's a leadoff single for DeShields. Roller foul. Ground ball to the right side, and that'll sneak through for a base hit. So Shields will stop at second. First two on board for Texas to start the ninth. Terrific speed. Odor with a 3-hit game. Back-to-back 3-hit games. Nomar Mazar 0 for 4. And a wild pitch will advance the base runners.
You would love to be able to keep that double play in order. Now that's not available for Joe, especially being a ground ball pitcher.
That looked like a cross-up.
Exactly. He's looking for a two-seam fastball running down and away. Instead, it was a slider.
Beltre on deck, then fielder. Nobody out here in the ninth. Runners at second and third. And that is ripped into right field, a base hit. One run will come in. Odor is going to be stopped at third. And it is now 9-5 with still nobody out. 3 consecutive hits off of Smith here in the ninth.
Well, right now that gift run that the Angels got in the top of the ninth looms pretty large. So fastball was down, but right in the middle of the plate. Zara, a very fine start to his professional career at the major league level, continues to swing well.
Beltre shoots one out to deep right center field. Trout giving chase at the wall. He'll make the catch. Odor will tag and head home. It's a sac fly for Beltre. It is 9-6. But Joe records the first out here in the ninth.
That's a good read, and that's that area where it's going to carry pretty well. And Beltre had a good swing on it. But Trout will play that one well. Good jumping and leaps up against the wall, makes the play, and gets it in quickly. But off the bat, in this ballpark, always scary to that part of the field. But a good play by Trout.
First pitch to fielder in for a strike. Oh, what? Backdoor breaking ball catches the corner. 0-2.
Good spot right here. Lower part of the strike zone, framed very well by Soto. A couple times in this game. Soto's got some borderline pitches called by the good frame effort.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Fielder today 1 for 4 with a single in the 7th. Foul back.
A change up from Joe. See if we can get that ground ball double play.
He had Desmond on deck. 3 consecutive hits to start the 9th, and then a sac fly to deep right center.
Fielders rolled into 5 double plays this year.
One, two on the move. This is the bouncer to first. Just take the out at first. 2 down. Mazzarum ends up over at second base. The Angels needing one more out to finish up the finale of this 3-game set with a victory. And Desmond stands in the way of that. A double, a single. An RBI, 2 runs scored. Overall, a 2 for 3 game for Desmond. First one way outside. One-0. That's down low.
And this is the guy you want to get right now. You don't want to bring that tying run to the plate. And the guy with that type of power in Moreland.
Caught the inside corner. 2 balls, 1 strike. Yes, he did. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Definitely, even from our angle, he clearly crossed the plate, almost a full swing on that 2-seam fastball that ran below the hands of Desmond.
2-2. Check swing. I think he held up on that one. And now a full count. Swing and a miss, light that baby up as the Angels take the finale of this 3-game set by the final of 9-6.
Boy, great perseverance to come back. We're down in this game with Cole Hamels on the mound 4-1, but then the offense coming back as Joe Smith finishes off Desmond, who had a very solid game and series for the Rangers, but pulling off that last game of the series, some solid offense. 15 hits on 9 runs, solid bullpen work. Giovanni Soto, again, another home run in the series, 2 of them. Giovanni Soto, Shane Robinson, big game, debut as an Angel at the major league level. Solid performance by him, both in the field and at the plate, as the Angels win this one 9-6.
In a crisp 3 hours and 32 minutes, the Angels picking up the victory and avoid the sweep at the hands of the Texas Rangers. Cole Calhoun, C.J. Cron, both with 3 hits. 15-hit attack for the Angels as they take this one by the final of 9-6. Now we'll head up to Milwaukee to start a 3-game series against the Brewers beginning tomorrow night. A lot of heroes to choose from. You mentioned Shane Robinson. Greg Malley, congratulations to him. Picks up his first major league win in relief. C.J. Cron always hits well against the Texas Rangers, and he was struggling early on. Did a terrific job with a big 2 RBI single, but Giovanni Soto behind the plate with a home run, adding to some insurance. He's down on the field right now with Jose Mota. Jose.
Thanks, Victor. Well, you got to keep the balance between relationship pitcher-catcher, but also your influence with the offensive side. How important is it for you to keep that?
Well, I feel that if I can contribute, to a win, especially in the offensive side, I know that, my job is to keep the pitchers in line and call a game. But if I can produce a little bit at the plate, it's a bonus.
And you have. Tell us about Garrett Richards, what you saw and what exactly happened with him.
I think, he was 1 pitch away to getting out of a big inning. I think that he's going to come along. He's a great pitcher. He's got great stuff. He just gotta get it all together and get it on the mound.
Did you know anything was wrong with you coming out after 79 pitches?
No, I actually didn't know what happened, but hopefully he's okay. I don't know what his situation is.
It is challenging to pitch here, but how challenging is it to catch in this ballpark?
It's a little bit different. You know, you got the upper deck on center field. It's like the white, so sometimes you lose the ball on the rails there. But it's fun. I've had my time here, so I'm a little bit familiar.
Joey, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Giovanni Soto does it again. Continues to rake against lefties. Now hitting over 400. Angels Live coming up next. Presented by SoCal Mountain Dealers. Patrick O'Neill joining soon.